fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here for this week's Whip and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be working on my Floral Frenzy by Diamond Art Club. This is for our May Diamond Paint Along, which is everybody working on their newest kit. So this is one of the last two kits that I purchased. I am pretty close to being done with this. I think a couple more days work and I'll be finished, and then I'm going to move on. So let me zoom into where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. All right, my timer is going. I've got my drills here. So let me jump into my life update. What's been going on in my regular life? Not a ton. I mean, we did some things this week, but I guess it wasn't a super busy week. We started out the week last weekend. Hubby decided that he was going to clean out our cars now that winter is officially over, I guess. We have the WeatherTech liners in our cars to keep the floors nice and clean. So we wanted to get the floor mats out and clean them. So he got them out and he was spraying them with water to get them all cleaned off, vacuuming out the dog hair, all of that stuff. So my youngest went to go put Oscar outside because somebody was outside, so Oscar had to be out with them. And Oscar happened to knock his ball down the stairs. So my youngest goes down the stairs to get the ball, and he comes back up and he says, "Mom, what's all this water?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I go downstairs and there's water dripping everywhere. There's a leak somewhere from the outside faucet. So we start moving things. The leak is right by the water heater and right under where hubby had put all of his rechargeable batteries. Also underneath there, unfortunately, was a tote with a bunch of my mementos. It had stuff from high school. It had some of my kids' clothing and stuff that I had saved, like their baby blankets. I have a bunch of my son's old t-shirts that he wore during middle and high school that I'm going to have made into a quilt for him eventually. And just a bunch of other mementos, some stuff from my parents' funerals, my grandmother's funeral, and some of it got wet. Luckily, the clothing that was in there absorbed most of the water, so all of the paperwork and stuff didn't really get wet. I just had to do some laundry and kind of wash everything, so it wasn't terrible, but man, we had a rug down there because we had like a little TV area set up, and there was a rug underneath it. And when you stepped onto it, it was just squelching from all the water it had absorbed, which I guess was good in a way because the rug absorbed a lot of it instead of it running everywhere all over the basement. But yeah, we were down there with every towel I could find, trying to push it all where we could soak it all up, dry everything out. We had put our old bed frame down there and it was soaking wet. So I don't know if any of the wood warped. So that was not a fun couple of hours trying to get everything cleaned up and dried out. Apparently, the outdoor freeze-proof faucet at some point froze and split, but we didn't know until hubby turned on the water because the water wasn't flowing through where the break was until he used the faucet. So after several trips to the hardware store, got everything taken out and replaced. And I told hubby, thank goodness he was only cleaning off the floor mats and not washing the cars. I can't imagine how much water would have been down there then. It was just like a fountain. As soon as you turned the water on, it was just spraying everywhere. So I washed everything, got it back where it belongs, put everything back in the tote, moved the tote. Luckily, none of my Christmas stuff, which was also all in totes down there, but it was far enough away from everything that it didn't get hit, thank goodness, because I would have been super upset if my Christmas stuff had gotten wet. We did also go to my mother-in-law's for dinner last week. I talked to my daughter some before we went, so I got to video chat with her, which was nice, trying to help her figure out stuff. Her insurance changed when they re-upped everything for the new year. So now she's with a different company and the prescription coverage is different. So her medicine that was literally like less than $2 for the generic is now a $40 copay for the exact same medicine. So I was talking to her about trying to get her to use that GoodRx stuff and see if she could get it cheaper. Because I don't understand. So she could buy the insurance or buy the medication without insurance for $9, which would be $24 for her 3-month supply, which is still more than the dollar something she was paying with her other prescription, but it's better than 40. So it's cheaper to actually buy it without using your insurance. That seems insane to me. So you're paying all of this money to have insurance coverage, prescription coverage, but it's cheaper if you don't use it. On what planet does that make sense? So where is all that extra money going? Because if the pharmacies can afford to sell it for less than $2 with one policy, who's making all this money on the other one? It's just crazy. Anyway, I think we finally got it figured out so she can get it cheaper than the $40. The sad part is, if she'd had that insurance all along and she'd always been paying the $40, how would you know other people are only paying less than $2? Same thing with car and house insurance. I saw a commercial once that said, what good is insurance if you get punished for using it? I mean, they're supposed to be collecting enough from all of the people that it covers all the things they might have to pay out. Guess that was before everyone started making billions of dollars as insurance CEOs. I still think about that off and on, about what it is about some people that, whether it's money or fame or cars or possessions or whatever the case may be, what in their brains makes them feel like it's never enough. I mean, one of my husband's favorite pastimes is to look at $1 million plus houses. And I just look at them and think, I don't want that. It's too big. I don't want to have to take care of it. I don't want to pay the property tax, the insurance, the utility bills, the maintenance, the upkeep that would all go along with that. Like, I want to downsize what I'm taking care of, not upsize. And of course, his response is, well, if we had enough money to buy it, then we'd have enough money to pay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I don't think even then that I would want that. I mean, maybe as I get older, I'd be okay with having a maid. Right now, I don't want one. I mean, would I love to have someone clean my house? In theory, yes. But I feel like I'd be one of those people who, right before the maid came over, I'd spend 20 minutes cleaning everything up so it wasn't dirty when they got here, which defeats the whole purpose. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I missed some gene. Because I don't think my parents were like that either. I mean, my parents liked nice things, but they would save up and wait until they could afford things. Some of that may be growing up post World War II. I mean, just yesterday, hubby and I were looking at, we have been saving plastic containers to use as like Tupperware, a la my grandmother. I didn't even know Tupperware was a brand until I was in my 20s. I just thought everybody called, the Betty Crocker containers and Cool Whip containers, that was Tupperware to me growing up. Hubby and I were looking at where we've been kind of shoving all of the empty ones as we collect them. And we're like, oh, I think we have enough now. I mean, it's not stuffed full by any means, but we don't generally have a lot of leftovers, so we don't need a ton of them. I guess the same sort of thing as in diamond painting. I don't have any desire to keep up with the Joneses anymore, because 90% of the time the Joneses don't have anything I want anyway. I mean, sometimes it would be nice to have like the latest iPhone or something. My iPhone is a couple of years old, but it still works just fine, and there's no reason that I need another one right now. Would it be nice to have? Sure, but I don't need one. I keep having to pause as all the motorcycles and ATVs drive by today, and now somebody has started mowing their lawn or something. Did find it really strange. Nobody here raked up their leaves in the fall, but as soon as all the snow melted, everybody was out raking up their leaves in the spring. Is that like a Canada thing? Or is that like a East Coast maritime thing? I saw an older gentleman out cleaning up his leaves, and I thought, is that just a him thing? And then a couple days later, I saw a bunch of other people out doing the same thing, and I was like, wait a minute. And then middle of the week, hubby got a call from the dentist. The actual dentist, not the lady that we go to clean our teeth. But they were calling to remind us that my youngest had an appointment on Wednesday. And I was like, what do you mean he has an appointment? Well, what happened was they called my husband and told him that he had an appointment at the end of the month, but the dentist was going to be gone. They had an appointment the next day at 1:30. Did we want that one? Whatever my husband said, the person on the phone took it as a yes. So I called back because I talked to my son and I was like, did you schedule an appointment for this year when you were there last time? And he's like, not that I know of. So I called the dentist office back, told him who I was, and said, we didn't realize he had an appointment. So she explained to me, oh, yeah, we made it last time you were in. Apparently, at the bottom of a receipt, there was a little note saying when his next appointment was that I just completely missed. So we ended up taking him in the next day. They took a couple of x-rays. He had no cavities, so everything's good. Just we weren't expecting to have an appointment. So I said, well, what about me? Because I was in there at the same time last year with him. So do I have an upcoming appointment scheduled? And she looks through it and says, no. Okay, well, then I guess let's go ahead and schedule one. So I have an appointment scheduled for the fall now. But it was a lot cheaper than last time, which was good because last time they took a whole bunch of x-rays, including a panoramic one, and it was like $600 for my son. I opted not to get the panoramic, so it was $300 for me because we don't have any dental insurance. So it was much less expensive this time, which was good. Fingers crossed that when I go in, I don't have any cavities either. Of course, I'll be getting my teeth cleaned before I go in, so we'll see what they say. But the hygienist is always telling us that my son's dental hygiene is almost perfect. And I was like, don't tell him that. Then he'll never brush his teeth again. And I also called and made appointments to get the dogs into the vet. Of course, that was confusing too, because we got them in November, took them in just for a checkup, and the vet told us at the time, bring them back in late April, early May, and we'll do all their rounds of shots again to make sure they're current. Because, of course, they had to be current on everything to cross the border. So they were already up on rabies shots and all of that stuff. But when I called, the receptionist was like, well, they would just be coming in for a checkup. And I was like, no, we need to get them their shots and everything, their rabies shots and all that stuff. And she's like, no, I don't show that either of them need that until October. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's wrong because we just got them last November and they'd had their shots before that. So she had to put me on hold and go and find the vet to ask the vet what she was supposed to do. So she came back and said she had misread something in the file. Yes, they both needed to come in. I wanted to take them both at the same time. Hubby wanted to take them on different days. So we made appointments to take them in on different days to get all of their shots and blood work and everything. And I want to get them on flea and tick medication because they're saying the flea and ticks are going to be really bad this year. I don't think it's going to be an issue for them. I mean, Sable's pretty much a house dog. I mean, she'll go outside to do her business and she doesn't mind being out there for a little bit, but we live close to a busy street and she doesn't like all the car noise. Oscar, on the other hand, will lay out there until you make him come in. So I do want to make sure that we get him on it because I don't want either one of them to get Lyme disease or anything or whatever it is that ticks give dogs. So hopefully that won't be a huge bill. 2 doctor exams and blood work and flea and tick medication. Plus we'll see how much bigger they've gotten. We took them up to my mother-in-law's the other day and she was saying that Oscar looks like he's grown quite a bit and Sable looks like she's put on some weight. So I guess we'll see what the scale says when we take them in. I keep trying to tell my husband they don't have to have a treat every single time they come back in from outside, but he's a big old softy. Sable just goes and stands by the treat cabinet because she knows where it is whenever they come in from outside and looks at him pitifully until he caves. But she wants to go outside and come right back in. Like I said, Oscar will go outside and stay now that it's nice for a couple of hours. He'll just lay down on the deck and start sunning himself. So sometimes when you go let him in, he's not ready to come in yet. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you guys about my regular life. So let's move on to my diamond painting life. What's been going on in my diamond painting life? Not a ton, just been working away on this kit. I'm getting close to being finished, so funny how when you actually work on something, you make progress. And since it's only the middle of the month, I'm hoping that once I finish this one, I'll be able to move on to Benedict Blue and finish that one in the second half of the month. So that means that Slow Jazz, which is one of my cross-stitch conversions I wanted to do, is probably going to wait until June, which is okay. I haven't actually laid any drills on that one yet, so it's all good. And I have decided, because May is our newest Diamond Paint Along, our newest kit, Diamond Paint Along, next month will be DP for Pets, so pet is the theme. And I have decided that I am going to do the Rainbow Dragon kit. That way I can do it for both DP for Pets and for Pride. Like you guys said, it'll hit two things at once, so that will be good. It's not a super huge kit, and it is a round, so I should be able to complete it fairly quickly. And then if I have time left, I'll see if I want to do a second pet themed kit or if I just want to try and finish Slow Jazz. I haven't quite decided about that yet, so we'll see. And then in July, we'll take a month off of our Diamond Paint Alongs. So I'm debating what I'm going to do in July. I still have my Christmas shop one that is a whip that I haven't finished. So I'm thinking about doing like a Christmas in July kind of thing and trying to finish that one in July just to get that one done and not have it hanging up staring me in the face anymore. And then once I hit that point, I can maybe, well, by that time it'll be time to do another collection video and I can see where I'm at with my collection, if I still have a ways to go for where I want to be or if I'm getting close. Also, thank you to everyone who hung in there with me this week, as I basically did an entire week of wip&chats. You guys said you wouldn't mind, so hopefully you didn't. The hot takes video was interesting. I was surprised by some of the comments that I didn't have more people disagreeing with me, but that makes me happy. I'm glad that everybody is very much of the, you do you school of thought, because we're all different and we all work differently. Some people have financial limitations, some people have physical limitations, whether that's their own body or space limitations or whatever the case may be. So we all work differently, and that's a good thing. If we all worked the same way, there'd be no new stuff coming out all the time, because we'd all be working the same way and there wouldn't be any need for anything new. I am always curious to see what's the next thing that's going to come up. I feel like at some point I'm going to have done this long enough that I'll be like, yeah, that's not really new, but who knows? Somebody commented that they've been doing diamond painting for 10 years, which I guess I've been doing it for like 6, but I don't know. It's just that weird thing of 2011 seems like so long ago, but 1995 feels like yesterday. For me anyway. Kind of want to do my Lucky Cat diamond painting for hubby, but I don't know where we would put it. We did buy a money tree plant to put in our little money corner along with his little Lucky Cat statue. So he's convinced we're going to win the lottery at some point. Would be nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath over it. In addition to the hot takes that I filmed, I also filmed the Ask Me Anything. You guys asked a bunch of questions and I answered them. Although filming the AMA was an adventure because I didn't realize how long it would take me to answer all the questions. And so I'm just busily filming away. I was about to the end and I happened to look up at my camera and realized that it had shut off. And I didn't know when it had shut off. I'd been talking so long I ran the battery down because I don't generally plug my phone in when I'm filming because I don't need to. My videos aren't usually long enough that I need to worry about plugging it in. So I plugged it in and the video that I had been filming did not pop up and I was like, oh no, I've lost the whole thing and I'm going to have to start again. Luckily, after it got like 1% of charge, the video showed up, so I only missed like the last couple of questions that I had to refilm because I was going to have to cry if I had to do the whole thing all over again. Because once I film it, then I have to edit it, and editing it can take twice as long as filming it. So, like I said, I hope nobody minded that I filmed basically a week of wip&chats. I tried to make it interesting, but it did let me make a lot of progress on this kit, so that was good. Also, I think it's kind of funny that my actual whip and chat is probably going to be the shortest one this week because it's nice weather, it's the weekend, and everybody is out driving around on their motorcycles and ATVs. And while you can't hear a lot of the noise, I can, and it's driving me crazy. I'm making good progress here. I've got, I think, 5 sections left, and then I'm done with this kit. And then I can move on to something else. So I hope you guys are all enjoying the newest kit, Diamond Paint Along. I'm actually having a lot more fun than I thought I would. I mean, I thought I would enjoy working on a new kit, but just working on this, I think also after working on the Heaven and Earth has just been a complete delight. Way more colorful, round instead of square, much, much easier, a lot more multi-placing. So I hope all your projects are going as well. Don't forget to post in the Facebook group so I can like all your pretty pictures. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I didn't forget the dogs. Sable eats her food like a normal dog. And then we have Mr. Prince here, who thinks he has to eat on the couch. Is that good, Oscar? And there we have Oscar in the wild, chewing on his stick and laying next to his deflated ball that lasted a whole day.